I'm here to tell you right here, right now, and a lot of y'all may already know this, but at the end of the day, a lot of times our friends and sometimes even our family members, God forbid, are not the people that have to be on our path with us when we are trying to achieve our life's purpose and the goals and visions that we have set out for ourselves in our lives. What's good, YouTube? Welcome to the Ballers Club. It's your boy BallOrFallBird, the one and only Mr. Ballafall, the one and only Mr. Do It All, the one and only Mr. Everything Under the Sun will get done because your boy is blessed beyond. Listen, man, I got a topic that I'm ready to go ahead and shoot at y'all fast and furious, man, because it's a topic that's heartfelt to me, so I know it may be heartfelt for you all as well. And the topic of today is how a lot of times our friends are not really our friends, how our family members don't have our best interests when we're trying to achieve our purpose in life and the goals and vision that we have set out for ourselves. So I'm here to go ahead and do a deep dive into that, what that looks like, how we can start to navigate that through our lives so that we can make sure that we stay on our purpose and achieve what we want to achieve out of life. One of the first things I always like to think about when I think about this topic is, number one, our roots. I always like to go back to our roots because our roots are the reason why we are the way that we are today. What do I mean by this? As kids, as infants, we're taught to be liked. So we're taught to be liked in the sense and in the manner of, we're taught to have certain mannerisms. We're taught to talk to people a certain way, approach people a certain way, be this specific way with people, all in the essence of trying to be liked. And the reason why I think about this and why I feel that this is not played out to be the best for us as we grow older is because obviously as children, as we grow through elementary school, middle school, high school, sometimes college, and then obviously into adulthood, we take these habits of wanting to be liked into our relationships and our friendships. And what do I mean by this? A lot of times, simply put, we will chase a person and want to be liked by a person as opposed to chasing and attracting our purpose. So as I said, the words chase and attract, that's one thing that I always think about. You would rather attract something or someone into your life as opposed to chase it or chase someone. So I think about the old saying of, if you want to catch a butterfly, don't chase it because it will continue to fly away from you, but build a beautiful garden and the butterfly will easily come to you. I think about that because whenever we're on our life purpose or trying to get the goals and things that we want to get out of life, we may, as men, we may see this pretty girl, we may see this girl, we may even have friends, partners, whatever the case may be. And if you're a woman, you may see this handsome guy, you may have your girlfriends, your family members, whatever the case may be. And you want to be included. You want to have these people around you so bad. You want to, always be in the friendship. You want to, all these different things. And a lot of times we're chasing being liked. We may know that these habits may not align with the goal and the purpose that we have for our lives, but we may partake in them just so that we can be around, just so we can feel that community, just so we can feel that companionship. This even plays out in relationships. We can, have a partner for us that's not the best for us. We can have a partner for us that has bad habits and we indulge in those bad habits with them just so that we can feel love, just so that we can, have somebody to confide in and, so on and so forth. These are not qualities of what we should have in our life. We should be wanting to attract people. We should be wanting, when I'm on my life purpose, if I'm headstrong on my life purpose, the people that come into my life are usually going to be people that can help me achieve my purpose as opposed to hinder me and take me away from my purpose. One of the first things that I want to talk about outside of that is recognizing these unhealthy relationships and unhealthy friendships. If you look at the relationships and the friendships that you have just a little bit closer, I'm not saying overanalyze them, but just look at them a little bit closer and have a keen eye on them. Learn the habits of your friends. A lot of the habits that your friends have, you have those as well. So if you may look at your friends and say, oh, my friend don't like to get up when it's time to get up. My friend likes to party, drink, and smoke. A lot of times y'all, share those same habits, which is why y'all are all friends most of the time. Now, the reason why I speak about this is because a lot of those bad habits are habits that you have. And when you're trying to get to new heights, when you're trying to finally start chasing your purpose, finally start chasing the goals that you want in your life, you have to shed these bad habits. You have to think about, let's take a butterfly. A butterfly has to start off as a caterpillar. Let's say an ugly caterpillar, because nobody cares for caterpillars like that. An ugly caterpillar, and that caterpillar has to go into its cocoon, shed off all of its bad habits, all of its ugly traits and things like that. And then it breaks out of this cocoon into a beautiful butterfly. So the reason why I say this is important because we have to look at our friends. If our friends have these habits and we're trying to grow and become what we really want to grow and become, a lot of times we may have to let these friends go. Another thing that I want to hit on is, I'm not saying any of your friends or any of my friends are bad people, but their habits may not align with the habits that I'm trying to have in my life so that I can achieve the purpose that is set out for me. Some of our friends may discourage us. They may, not think so highly of us. They may not push us to be, on our goals, on our, to achieve the things that we want to achieve out of life. They may not, really support us in the way that we want to be supported. We can also look at this in the case of our family members and sometimes even the good friends that we do have. Because a lot of times, like I said, these friends aren't bad people because a lot of the things that they do and a lot of things that they say may not be intentional. But a lot of times, even with our family members, they'll try to keep us, on the safe side. They may want us to play it safe. They want to keep us safe and secure. I know, like, if I told my granny or if I told, just somebody in my family member, hey, I'm about to quit my job so that I can go start pursuing my passion in this or my passion in that, I may very well hear from that person, hey, no, don't do that. That's not smart. That's not safe. You're going to end up homeless. You may end up this, that, and the third. But just because it's not bad for you doesn't mean that it's the best thing for you. And what do I mean by that? They're going to say, no, don't do that. Keep a job, keep a security blanket around you. That way you don't have to go through this. But sometimes me going through this may have been the very thing that pushed me to become this. And the reason why I think about that is because of we need to start realizing who our actual supportive friends are. We need to start realizing who's going to help push us to our purpose. And that's the next thing that I want to talk about. A lot of times, our best friends, the friends that we really need to have along our path and purpose with us, are the ones that push us to be our best selves. They're the ones that are overly supportive. They're the ones that, will hold us accountable. I feel like that's probably the best friend that you can have. Somebody that calls you, somebody that you call, and every time that y'all check in with each other, hey man, how you doing? How is that goal? How is that, that vision that you have set out for yourself? What did you achieve last month? I know I got a partner personally that calls me every single day, and he's like, hey man, what you achieved today? What you get accomplished today? And so looking forward to that phone call, I'm like, you know what? Let me make sure I get something done today. Let me make sure that I do this today. That way, when he called me, we can bat off ideas. We can bat off, what we both were able to accomplish today. Those are the kind of friends, those are the kind of partners and family members that you need to have along your side when you're trying to achieve your life's purpose. The next thing that I want to go ahead and get into and talk about is setting boundaries and your priorities for your life. You can't set boundaries. You can't say, oh, I don't want these people around me if you don't have a clear and concise vision set out for yourself. If I know that I want to get up every morning at 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, it's probably best that I'm not hanging around friends that are trying to go out to the club every night, are trying to end their nights all the time drinking and smoking. And the reason why I say this is because when we have these kind of friends, we need to be able to set boundaries and say, you know what, hey, respectfully, don't text me when y'all trying to go out throughout the week. Respectfully, don't text me when y'all only trying to link up to smoke or drink. Because these habits are not aligning with your priorities. Your priorities have to be set. If your priority is achieving your life purpose and you have to do A, B, and C, you don't need X, Y, and Z going on because it's going to take you away from your purpose. It's important that we look at our boundaries as like a filter. We'll be able to filter out the bad habits. We'll be able to filter out the bad friendships, because a lot of times, when you may start to get on your life purpose, you may start to notice that your friends and sometimes even your family members may be, talking negative about you or whatever the case may be. But these boundaries are just filters that they weren't accustomed to having before. So now they're going to say or do whatever they feel that they have to say or do. But at the end of the day, you're headstrong and you're, set on getting to where you're trying to be. So you can block these things out because you know that my boundaries are going to help me get to my purpose. And their negative talk, their negative feelings about this is not going to sway my decision. And then, as I said earlier, talking about our real and supportive friends, the real friends that we have are going to agree. And honestly, if you're anything like me, whenever you start to get on your shit, whenever you start to achieve and want better for yourself, a lot of times it'll do the same things for your friend. You know, as they say, a rising tide lifts all boats. So if I'm, becoming the person that I need to become, if I'm becoming, better at this or that, or I'm saying, I'm going to stay on my life purpose, I'm going to get on my life purpose, and that's the only thing that matters to me right now. A lot of times your friends and your closest family members, whatever the case may be, are going to do the same exact things. And now y'all all are, elevating to new levels. One thing that I will say is make sure that you're having these conversations with your friends. Don't just go ghost on them. Don't just leave them in the dust and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Have these conversations. Hey, man, this is what I'm trying to get achieved. This is what I'm trying to do in my life. You can either be with me or not. And understand that there's no hard feelings, because at the end of the day, we all have our purpose and we all have the things that we're trying to accomplish. And at the end of the day, their life's purpose is not going to be your life purpose. Your life purpose may be, my purpose is being a millionaire. My purpose is, changing the course of my entire family. So you can't be around these people all the time. And once you have these open and honest conversations, a lot of these things will be made clear in your life. So one of the last things that I want to hit on and want to talk about is cultivating and creating your circle. At the end of the day, realizing who your unhealthy friends are, realizing who your healthy friends are, and then setting the boundaries and priorities that you have for yourself will all be able to be thrown into this bucket of starting to create and cultivate the circle that you need to have when you're trying to achieve your life goals. The partners that you have, the friends that you have, it may be the harsh reality that you have to realize is these people are just not on the same path as you, and they don't have your life's purpose. And the reason why I say this is, to go back to what I was talking about earlier, to the unsupportive and unhealthy relationships. Given where you are right now, 9 times out of 10, if your friends have these habits, you have these habits as well. But you have to go through this process of shedding these habits to be able to go where you want to go. You have to realize that some of your friends may not be willing to let some things go. Some of your friends may not be willing to say, I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop going out. I'm going to stop, only worrying about girls or only worrying about boys, whatever the case may be. So when you're elevating, realize the habits of my current friends and family members, and realize what habits of the people that I need to have around me need to have. A lot of times this can look like going on LinkedIn, going on Instagram, going on social media, going, just out and about in the world and finding people who are already in the place that you want to be in life. If I want to be a doctor and all my friends are people that don't want to do nothing but smoke, drink, and party all day, I need to go start hanging around the people that are trying to be doctors or are already doctors, so that I can make them in my network, so that I can, have them in my circle. Your network is your net worth. If all of my friends don't do nothing but drink, smoke, and party all weekend, who can they refer me to? How can they help me elevate to the place that I want to elevate to, or help me achieve the purpose that I want in life? I'm pretty sure that I'm better off with the friend that's a doctor that can say, hey, I know this guy. Go call him and go talk to him. Or the friend that says, go join this program. It's better off having those kind of friends. I'm not saying to leave your other friends in the past, but at the end of the day, sometimes that comes with the shedding of trying to get on your life's purpose. When we're trying to get on our purpose, when we're trying to achieve the things that we want out of life, some friends may stay, some friends may go. Some friends may elevate with you, and some friends may stay down at the bottom. And that's okay. It's not to say that you have to treat them any differently, but maybe you just treat yourself differently and say, I'm not going to include myself in that. So at the end of the day, man, figure out who your real friends are so that you can stay on your purpose and so that you can achieve your life goals, man. It's your boy BallOrFallBird. Appreciate you for coming to the Balls Club. It's your boy BallOrFallBird, the one and only Mr. BallOrFall, the one and only Mr. Do It All, the one and only Mr. Everything Under the Sun Will Get Done, because your boy's best beyond, man. And I am out.